All right, here we go. One more again, my friend. It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about it. Now, we've come a long way. You know, come a long way. And I remember a couple years ago, Nicki Minaj hated my guts. I mean, probably still hate my guts, but she was, man, hated my guts. Seriously, hated me. Mainly because I was in concert and having conversations with Safari, and she didn't like that very much. Because now he was solidifying everything I was saying about her, and that didn't look good for her. So she would have family members accusing him every time I came up with a scenario or story. Anything I said about Nicki, they would question Safari. Like her friends would call him. Like Nicki wouldn't call Safari. She would have one of her girlfriends call him, and they just start going off. Now, Nicki Minaj, of course, starts dating Kenneth Petty. And I didn't know anything about the guy until the internet told me something about that guy. So you don't see too much of information of me talking about him too much unless they actually do things. So unless you do something, that's the only time I could talk about it. And for Nicki's new team, the Kenneth Petty part was probably not in the cards. Nicki likes to feel safe, so she likes men she can control. But she always wanted to surround herself, and she's always been surrounded by, dangerous men, to feel that support and feel like, but she would always date the soft guy. Now, Kenneth Petty, I found out through basically the fans. They were not happy with her selection, as if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't know anything really about Kenneth Petty. They informed the entire world about how bad this man was, the cases, situation with his baby mother, and it's this big case that he had where he was accused of an assault and kidnapping charge. And they were, why is Nicki attaching herself to a person with a resume like this? And her brother was going through his case, and while he's going through that case, they're like stuck in this situation here. Now, the situation that I'm like referring to, and don't forget to hit the like button if you're new here and subscribe to the page. Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty, she had problems moving him to California because that charge and that case holds a lot of weight when you move into certain areas or try to conduct business in Hollywood. Someone like Kenneth Petty is not supposed to be dating someone with a resume such as Nicki Minaj. She walks into certain stop places of life. She goes to different countries. He might not be welcome, and they went through that. and that process. And now they're trying to make other moves as they now have a family together. You know, she's a mother now for the first time, and she's got to deal with this ordeal. That case that keeps following him, but now it's going to follow her and attach to her. Now, only a woman now who goes by the name of Jennifer was the woman who was assaulted by Petty as a teenager, and the Jennifer lady, she's coming out. She's accusing them both, of trying to pressure her into denying that there was a crime that took place. See, the only way that this case can go away, if they were to find someone, or basically the person involved, to drop the claims altogether. Other than that, it can't be done. So whatever this is standing in the way of what something that Nicki wants to get done, and this is the only way to get it done. Now, he was convicted of the crime of attempting to do the sexual assault back in the 90s when he was, well, they were both 16 or something like that, right? Now, she claims that Petty, Nicki, and Kenneth are both harassing her, and they want her to recant her statement as recent as a year ago. Now, they rushed and got married in 2019. They just had a kid last year, and they denied that this assault ever happened at all. And Nicki came out saying she's hoping that the truth will come out, and whatever comes from the truth, to let it be. And Jennifer has said, after everything that has happened, it's like these people were willing to sacrifice me so that this guy could remain in the public eye. I feel like my family was willing to sacrifice me. Mm, mm, mm. That's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Now, the Jennifer girl is from Southside Jamaica, Queens, just like both of them. She said she knew the Petty from the neighborhood, but she didn't know Nicki Minaj. Never knew her. In '94, Kenneth Petty approached her from behind on the streets and directed her into his home, where he started to assault her at knife point. She was able to get away, and she called the cops immediately. And after that, her adopted mother blamed her for the incident and said she should have screamed. So what she said is that her mother allowed that her family rather allowed his mother and father to take me to the DA to pretend like they were my aunt and uncle. She said, I think I kind of always just felt like people wanted me to be a liar. Now, the adoptive cousin, who's estranged from her and lived with one of Nicki Minaj's friends, TT, came out to discredit her on a YouTube video saying you need to cut it out. You really need to before you get yourself hurt out here, homegirl. Wow, this is crazy. Man, what are we gonna do? He failed to register in California, which they finally took care of that. Um, she says she was offered 20,000 in cash after the California thing went down, and he couldn't get into California. They offered her 20K in cash and promised her another 500K from people she believed were connected to Nicki and Kenneth Petty. Even though she never directly heard from them, she alleged just she was asked to recant her statement and to write a letter to the judge on more than one occasion by several different people, including relatives of hers. Her 22-year-old daughter, Kenya, who was allegedly approached at a club by an older man who asked her if she knew Kenneth Petty, and he was running down a list of relatives, including her mom. And next thing you know, Kenya also said she witnessed a man offering her mom 20K in cash. She remembers she received a phone call from Nicki Minaj herself. And she said, "Listen, I just need you to know, woman to woman, this really happened." Jennifer claims she told Nicki Minaj that on the phone. She said due to this harassment, she had to move 4 times. 4 times. Days after moving to Georgia, she said the U.S. Marshals came to her home because they heard about the harassment. Frightened, she said she texted Minaj to find out what was going on. She's like, I didn't know if she was trying to help me out. I didn't know if she was trying to set me up. I didn't know if the people around me were trying to set me up. So she just wants them to leave her alone. That's it. She's not finna go ahead and lie for anybody or trying to do anything else. She wants to be left alone. And that's all she wants. So now she's hired a law firm, right? The state against the Petties, but USA versus the Petties, the federal case, the charges. He's got a case that's going on in California that's going to go to trial in June. Nicki Minaj doesn't want to comment on the situation whatsoever, as this has gone on far too long. Now, I'm a little fatigued. I'm mentally exhausted. Been doing a lot today. My plate has definitely been full. My throat and my voice is going. So I'm going to take some rest. I did a lot yesterday. So today, try to taper it down a little bit. But I had to let you know what was up. So don't forget to subscribe to the page, hit that notification bell. When you do, if you want to support the page, the name on the page is Carcino on the Cash App, rather. Carcino on the Cash App. And the Carcino for Life Patreon will be updated again today. We got something else explosive coming today. I can't tell you what it is, but it will be out today. And it's another bombshell. So just wait for it. You found out Rotimi and Jay-Z are related yesterday. So today you finna find out something else. I'm out.